The nature of reality in the universe. Section 1. The definition of reality. In your quest for understanding, the term reality might come across as a complex puzzle, but it's simply the state of things as they actually exist, beyond mere perception or belief. It's not merely what you see, hear, or touch, but the actual existence of things, events, and facts. You see, reality isn't just narrowed to the tangible aspects of life, it expands to include the intangible too. It's the thoughts you think, the emotions you feel, and the decisions you make. It's the beauty in the sunset, the warmth of a hug, and the pain of a loss. They're all part of reality, even though you can't physically touch them. You may wonder, how can you define something so vast and so complex? Well, let's break it down. Reality consists of two major components, objective reality and subjective reality. Objective reality refers to the physical world that exists outside of your mind. It's the world as it is, independent of your thoughts, feelings or perceptions. On the other hand, subjective reality is your personal experience of the world. It's shaped by your thoughts, feelings, and perceptions. In essence, reality is a blend of the objective and subjective. It's the actual state of the world, combined with your personal experience of it. Understanding this duality is key to comprehending the nature of reality. Remember, it's not as enigmatic as it seems, it's just the state of things as they truly are. Section 2. The role of perception. You've got a crucial role in shaping your reality, given that your perception can drastically influence how you interpret and interact with the world around you. It's your perceptions that categorize, simplify, and interpret sensory information, creating your unique understanding and experience of reality. Perception isn't just a mirror reflecting an objective reality. Instead, it's an active process that constructs a personal reality. You're not merely receiving information passively, you're actively interpreting, processing, and giving meaning to that information. Your past experiences, values, and beliefs all play a part in shaping these interpretations, thereby shaping your reality. You might perceive a rainy day as gloomy and depressing, while someone else might see it as calming and peaceful. The rain is the objective reality, but your perceptions of it, influenced by your emotions, past experiences, and even cultural background, can vary widely. Thus, your perceived reality is subjectively different from others. Your perception also affects your interactions with others. The way you perceive someone influences your behavior towards them, which in turn affects their response to you. This interaction cycle can reinforce your initial perceptions, making them a self-fulfilling prophecy. Section 3. The influence of culture. Culture significantly shapes your interpretation of reality, acting as a lens through which you perceive and understand the world. It's a filter, distorting, suppressing, and amplifying various elements of your environment to create a unique version of reality. This culturally constructed reality is so ingrained in your consciousness that it's often indistinguishable from objective truth. It's not just about the physical world. Your culture also influences your perception of abstract concepts such as time, love, and morality. Concepts you deem self-evident might be utterly alien to someone from a different cultural background. This isn't to say that one perspective is more valid than another. Rather, it underscores how reality is a cultural construct. Let's consider the concept of time. In Western societies, time is often perceived as a linear progression, a river flowing from the past to the future. But in many indigenous cultures, time is viewed as cyclical or even non-linear. Here, the past, present, and future might coexist, blurring the boundaries. Similarly, cultural norms dictate your moral compass, influencing what you perceive as right or wrong. They shape your interpretation of human rights, justice, and fairness. These constructs aren't universal, but are deeply rooted in individual cultures. In essence, culture is a powerful tool that molds your perception of reality. It's vital to remember that your cultural lens is just one among many. By recognizing this, you can begin to understand and appreciate the diversity of human experience. Section 4. The illusion of time. Now, let's delve into another fascinating aspect of reality, the concept of time, which, believe it or not, is often nothing more than an illusion. This abstract concept, intangible and elusive, governs your every action. Yet, it's not as concrete as you might think. Have you ever pondered why time seems to slow down when you're bored or speed up when you're having fun? It's because your perception of time is subjective and malleable. It's tied to your consciousness, your state of mind, and your emotions. Hence, it's not a universal constant but a personal experience. You'd agree that time feels linear. You're born, you grow up, and eventually, you'll die. Yet physicists argue that all time exists simultaneously. Einstein's theory of relativity proposes that time is relative to the observer's motion and gravity. It's not a steady, unchanging river, but a malleable entity that bends and warps. Consider this: you are always living in the present moment. The past is nothing but memories, and the future is mere anticipation. You can't hold time, you can't see it. All you're really experiencing is a continuous series of nows. So, is time real, or is it just an illusion? Section 5. Exploring the multiverse theory. In your quest to understand reality, one theory you'll inevitably come across is the intriguing concept of the multiverse. This theory proposes that our universe isn't alone but instead part of a vast, possibly infinite, collection of universes, together known as the multiverse. Each universe within this multiverse could have its own laws of physics, its own history, and possibly even its own dimensions of space and time. What's fascinating is that the multiverse theory isn't just wild speculation. It's an idea that has emerged from serious scientific theories, like quantum mechanics and string theory. In their attempts to explain the strange and often counterintuitive behavior of the smallest particles in the universe, physicists have found that multiple universes could provide the most satisfying explanations. But don't presume the multiverse theory as an answer set in stone. It's still a theory, and a highly controversial one at that. Many scientists question whether we'll ever be able to test it empirically. After all, if these other universes are beyond our own space-time, how could we possibly observe them? As you explore this mind-bending concept, you're bound to face more questions than answers. Yet it's precisely these questions that push the boundaries of our understanding. As you delve deeper into the nature of reality, you'll discover that the multiverse idea is only one piece of a much larger, more complicated jigsaw puzzle. This leads us to our next intriguing subtopic, the quantum nature of reality. Section 6. The quantum nature of reality. Diving deeper into the nature of reality, you'll find the quantum realm to be a world that's both fascinating and mind-bogglingly complex. It's a world that operates on a different set of rules from the macroscopic universe we're familiar with. Here, particles can exist in a superposition of states, they can be entangled, and they can even tunnel through barriers that should, in theory, be impenetrable. Quantum superposition, one of the core principles of quantum mechanics, suggests that a particle can exist in all its theoretically possible states simultaneously. But when you try to measure it, it collapses into one of those possible states. It's as if a coin spun in the air isn't just heads or tails, but both at the same time, until you catch it. Quantum entanglement, another cornerstone of quantum physics, is a phenomenon in which particles become interconnected. The state of one instantly affects the other, no matter the distance between them. It's a bizarre concept, that even Einstein referred to as spooky action at a distance. Quantum tunneling, meanwhile, defies classical physics by allowing particles to pass through barriers as if they weren't there. It's like walking through a wall, something that's completely impossible in the macroscopic world. The quantum nature of reality, therefore, is a world that defies intuition and everyday experience. It's an abstract, enigmatic, yet fundamentally essential part of understanding the universe, and the reality in which we exist. It's a reality that's as bewitching as it's bewildering. Section 7. The power of consciousness. Shifting gears, let's delve into the power of consciousness, a realm as complex and profound as the quantum world we've just explored. Your consciousness, simply put, is your awareness. It's the thoughts you think, the feelings you feel, and the perceptions you hold about the world around you. It's your personal reality, an internal universe that exists parallel to the external one. Consider consciousness as a tool. Like a radio tuned into different frequencies, it allows you to access different layers of reality. Each thought, emotion, or perception you experience is like tuning into a different station of reality. You're not merely a passive observer in this process, you're an active participant. Your consciousness shapes your reality as much as your reality shapes your consciousness. To understand this power, imagine consciousness as a vast, limitless ocean. Your individual consciousness is like a drop of water in that ocean. It may seem insignificant, but each drop has the potential to create ripples, affecting the entire ocean. That's the power you hold within your consciousness, the power to influence your reality, and the reality of those around you. However, it's important to note that this power isn't absolute. It's influenced and limited by various factors, with one of the most significant being our sensory perceptions. We perceive the world through our 5 senses, which provide us with a wealth of information but also restrict our understanding to what they can detect. This leads us into our next section, where we'll examine the limitations of the 5 senses. Section 8. The limitations of the 5 senses. Despite the wealth of information you receive through your 5 senses, you're often unaware of their inherent limitations that confine your understanding of the vast reality around you. Your senses, while indispensable in everyday life, provide only a narrow glimpse of the broader cosmos, limiting you to a finite range of frequencies, vibrations, and textures. Consider sight, for instance. Humans can only sense a small portion of the electromagnetic spectrum, making ultraviolet and infrared frequencies invisible to humans. Similarly, your hearing is limited to a certain range of sound frequencies, and you're unable to detect subtle variations in pitch that some animals can. Taste, smell, and touch also come with their constraints, restricting your ability to fully comprehend the complex world around you. Moreover, your senses are prone to deception and misinterpretation. Optical illusions and auditory paradoxes are prime examples of this, where what you perceive doesn't align with the actual reality. Furthermore, your brain interprets sensory data based on prior experiences and expectations, which can lead to subjective and biased perceptions. Section 9. The relationship between mind and matter. Exploring the relationship between mind and matter, you'll find it's a complex interplay that significantly shapes your perception of reality. This intricate relationship affects how you interpret and interact with the world around you. It's not merely about physical interaction but also the mental processes that drive those actions. Your mind, a product of your brain, is a complex entity capable of creating and absorbing information. It's the part of you that's conscious, that thinks, and that experiences emotions. Matter, on the other hand, represents the physical aspects of the universe, including your body, the earth, and the stars. Matter exists objectively, regardless of your mind's perception. Yet your mind shapes your understanding of matter. Every piece of information about the physical world is filtered through your mind, which in turn shapes your perception. The color of the sky, the feeling of a breeze, the smell of a rose, all are processed and given meaning by your mind. However, the relationship isn't one-sided. Matter also influences your mind. For example, physical pain triggers mental responses. Similarly, the state of your physical health can affect your mental well-being. In this dance between mind and matter, your perception of reality is formed. It's critical to understand that your reality, though it feels absolute, is largely a subjective construct of your mind based on its interaction with matter. This understanding is a stepping stone to our next discussion, the role of emotions in shaping reality. Section 10. The role of emotions in shaping reality. In your perception of reality, emotions play a pivotal role, acting as a lens through which you interpret and respond to the world around you. They're not just fleeting internal states but powerful shapers of your personal reality. Emotions color your experiences, influence your decision-making process, and guide your interactions with others. Consider how fear might alter your reality. It's not just a physiological response, it triggers a shift in your perception, making threats seem more imminent and consequences dire. You're not just responding to an objective reality, but to one that's been distorted by your emotional state. Joy, on the other hand, imbues your reality with positivity. It amplifies the beauty and goodness around you, fostering an optimistic outlook. Your decisions, influenced by this emotional state, might be more risk-taking, as joy reduces perceived threats. However, it's not just about individual emotions. The interplay of various emotions creates a complex emotional landscape that continually molds your reality. You're navigating a reality that's not just objective and external but also deeply subjective and internal. Your emotions aren't just reactions to this reality, they're active participants in its creation and interpretation. Therefore, understanding the role of emotions is crucial for understanding reality. They're not mere side effects of your experiences, but pivotal elements that shape and define your personal and shared reality. Your emotions aren't just part of your reality, they're integral to its very fabric. Thus, to comprehend reality, one must also delve into the world of emotions. Section 11. The connection between reality and beliefs. Every single belief you hold plays a crucial role in shaping your reality, acting as a filter through which you interpret the world around you. These beliefs, whether consciously or subconsciously harbored, create a framework that dictates your understanding and interaction with your world. They form the basis of your decisions, actions, and reactions, subsequently influencing your reality. Consider how beliefs shape your perception. If you firmly believe that every setback is a stepping stone to success, you'll view challenges differently from someone who sees them as insurmountable hurdles. In this sense, your beliefs determine your perspective and, in turn, your reality. Beliefs aren't stagnant, they're dynamic and can change over time. New experiences, knowledge, and insights can reshape your beliefs, thereby altering your reality. This fluidity of beliefs and its impact on reality suggest a symbiotic relationship between the two. Now, it's important to note that the reality shaped by your beliefs is subjective. It's not an absolute, universal truth, but rather a personal interpretation of the world. Recognizing this distinction is key to understanding the connection between reality and beliefs. In summary, your beliefs act as the architects of your reality. They construct and deconstruct, shape and reshape your world, creating your unique interpretation of reality. In grasping this concept, you're better equipped to understand how your beliefs influence your life and how you can consciously use them to shape your reality. As we delve further into the nature of reality, let's transition into examining how technology impacts our perception of reality. Section 12. The impact of technology on reality. Just as your beliefs shape your reality, technology, too, can significantly alter your perception of the world around you. Consider virtual reality. It's not just a game, it's an entirely different world that you can step into. It changes what you see, hear, and even feel, offering an alternate reality that can be as convincing as the physical realm. The impact of technology on reality isn't confined to virtual reality. Social media platforms, for instance, have the power to influence your perception of events, personalities, and ideas. They can filter or amplify certain viewpoints, effectively shaping your understanding of what's real or important. Artificial intelligence is another technological force reshaping reality. Through algorithms, it can predict your preferences, influence your decisions, and even mimic human intelligence, blurring the line between what's humanly real and artificially constructed. But it's not all about manipulation. Technology can also enhance reality. With augmented reality, you can overlay digital information onto the physical world, enriching your interaction with your surroundings. Similarly, technology enables you to connect with people across the globe, bridging geographical gaps and fostering a shared, albeit digital, reality. While it's clear that technology alters reality, it's crucial to remember that you're not a passive recipient. You're an active participant in this digital era. You have the power to choose how technology affects your perception of reality. It's a fine balance, requiring discernment, critical thinking, and a mindful engagement with technology. The reality you experience, after all, is a complex interplay of your beliefs, perceptions, and the technological tools at your disposal. Section 13. The interplay of free will and determinism. You're constantly engaged in the intricate dance between free will and determinism, shaping and being shaped by the reality you inhabit. These two forces, seemingly at odds, actually intertwine to mold the fabric of your existence. Free will, the notion that your actions are a product of independent thought and decision, gives you a sense of control over your life. On the other hand, determinism contends that your actions are predestined, shaped by preceding events or laws of nature. Consider your choices, for instance. You might think you're making decisions independently, but are you? Your preferences, tendencies, and even your spontaneous choices are influenced by a lifetime of experiences and circumstances you've encountered. That's determinism at play. Yet, the very act of pondering on this, of being aware of the forces at work, is an exercise of free will. Hence, you're not a mere puppet to fate, but a participant in shaping it. These concepts aren't mutually exclusive. They coexist, creating a dynamic interplay. In the grand dance of existence, determinism sets the rhythm, while free will allows you to move to it as you wish. This interplay forms a dialectic that shapes not just your individual reality, but the collective human experience as well. Understanding this interplay deepens your grasp of the nature of reality. It's a complex and fascinating subject, but don't stop here. Next, we're going to explore something even more mind-bending, the existence of parallel realities. Section 14. The existence of parallel realities. Now, imagine this, there's not just one reality shaped by your free will and determinism dance, but multiple, parallel realities all coexisting at once. This isn't the plot of a sci-fi movie, but a concept that's taken seriously by some quantum physicists. The idea is known as the multiverse theory. In this uncountable array of universes, every possible outcome for every event exists somewhere. You're not just living your life, you're living countless versions of it. In one reality, you're a world-renowned scientist, in another, you're an artist. This concept, though mind-boggling, is a logical extension of quantum mechanics, specifically the many worlds interpretation. But what's the evidence? You can't hop into an alternate reality to confirm its existence, right? Well, it's not about direct observation, but indirect indications. Quantum mechanics, the best theory we have for the subatomic world, predicts such parallel realities. The famous double-slit experiment, where particles act as if they're aware of all possible paths, is often cited as indirect evidence. However, it's important to remember that this is one interpretation among many. Scientists haven't reached a consensus, and there's raging debate on the nature of reality. The existence of parallel realities isn't just a fancy idea, it's a radical rethinking of our understanding of reality. It challenges our notions of what's possible and questions the uniqueness of our existence. So, keep an open mind and remember, reality might be much stranger and complex than you've ever imagined. Section 15. The nature of dreams and lucid dreaming. Diving into the realm of dreams, let's explore how your nighttime visions and lucidity can shed light on the elusive nature of reality. Dreams, those ephemeral wisps of the subconscious, aren't merely idle thoughts. They're an intricate play of your mind's powerful ability to create, often reflecting your deepest emotions, desires, and fears. Lucid dreaming, a phenomenon where you're aware that you're dreaming and can influence the dream's direction, further deepens this intrigue. It's a demonstration of your mind's ability to blur the lines between the conscious and subconscious, between reality and illusion. As you traverse the landscapes of your dreams, you're not just a passive observer. In a lucid dream, you're an active participant, a creator. You can fly, meet historical figures, or conquer your fears, all while being aware that it's a dream. This awareness within the dream state isn't just intriguing, it's a window into an alternate reality created by your mind. But what does this mean for our understanding of reality? If your mind can craft such vivid, immersive experiences that feel as real as any waking moment, what does that say about the nature of reality itself? Could it be that reality isn't just what we perceive when we're awake, but also encompasses the surreal, fantastical realities we inhabit in our dreams? While these questions may not have definitive answers, exploring the nature of dreams and lucid dreaming can certainly provide profound insights into the enigmatic nature of reality. So, the next time you drift off to sleep, remember, you're not just dreaming, you're venturing into another facet of reality. Section 16. The concept of simulated reality. In the realm of reality exploration, let's plunge into the concept of simulated reality, a theory suggesting you're living within a carefully crafted, computer-generated universe. This notion, though abstract, isn't as outlandish as it first appears. Powerful technological advancements have paved the way for such hypotheses by introducing the possibility of creating incredibly realistic virtual environments. Imagine this: your entire life, your thoughts, emotions and experiences are all the result of meticulously designed code. You're not actually breathing in air or feeling the sun's warmth, instead, you're experiencing a complex program's interpretation of these phenomena. This is what the concept of simulated reality proposes. The theory is supported by arguments from mathematics, physics, philosophy, and technology. It is predicated on the idea that if a society reaches a particular degree of technological advancement, it will be able to simulate a universe. And if that's possible, how can you be certain you're not already within such a simulation? While the idea might seem unsettling, it doesn't diminish the authenticity of your experiences. The emotions you feel, the lessons you learn, and the relationships you build are all real to you. They shape your existence, whether it's organic or simulated. Now, having unfolded the concept of simulated reality, it's equally essential to consider the role of language in shaping our perception of reality. A segue that leads us into the upcoming exploration of the influence of language on reality. Section 17. The influence of language on reality. You're undeniably shaped by the language you speak, which doesn't just communicate your thoughts but also influences your perception of reality. This linguistic determinism, a theory well recognized in the field of cognitive science, argues that the nuances of your language can even affect how you understand and interact with the world. Consider how some languages might have multiple words for a single concept in another. An Inuit, for example, has multiple words for snow whereas an English speaker only has one. Such linguistic differences can significantly impact the way individuals perceive and categorize their experiences. The Inuit, in this case, might see different types of snow as entirely distinct phenomena, while the English speaker might see them as variations of the same concept. But it's not just about vocabulary. Language structure is also important. For instance, some cultures use a language structure that emphasizes the passage of time, which can lead to a heightened awareness of the temporal aspects of life. Speakers of such languages tend to be more future-oriented than those whose languages focus less on the concept of time. However, it's imperative to note that language doesn't dictate your thoughts, it merely influences them. It's a tool that helps you construct and explain your reality, not a prison that confines your understanding of the world. As we delve deeper into the nature of reality, the influence of language on perception is only one facet. Let's now transition into exploring the role of intuition in perceiving reality. Section 18. The role of intuition in perceiving reality. Your gut feeling isn't just an ambiguous sensation, it's an intuitive understanding that often shapes your perception of reality. Intuition, that subtle nudge from within, acts as your internal compass, guiding you through the maze of life. This subconscious process, often dismissed as irrational, plays a pivotal role in how you perceive and interact with your environment. Intuition links the conscious and subconscious minds, revealing insights that rational reasoning may miss. It's a tool that helps you make sense of the world, even when you don't have all the facts. Intuition isn't about certainty, it's about possibility. It allows you to perceive patterns and connections that aren't immediately apparent. Your intuitive system isn't flawless, though. It's susceptible to biases and can lead you astray. You might jump to conclusions, overestimate your abilities, or misinterpret signals. But even with these potential pitfalls, intuition remains a valuable asset. It's a different kind of intelligence, one that's often underutilized. You can't simply turn off your rational mind and rely solely on intuition. Rather, it's about finding a balance. Use your rational mind to analyze, scrutinize, and question. Use your intuition to dream, explore, and envision. These two systems, when working together, can provide a more comprehensive understanding of reality. In short, intuition is an integral part of how you perceive reality. It's a subconscious guide that shapes your actions and decisions. So next time your gut tells you something, don't dismiss it. It might be your intuition trying to make sense of your reality. Section 19. The nature of space and reality. Throughout time, you've likely pondered the enigmatic nature of space and reality, and it's not just you, that's a conundrum humans have grappled with for centuries. The idea that space and reality are two inseparable elements of our existence has been the foundation of many philosophical and scientific theories. You live in a three-dimensional world, but you're bound by time, a dimension that's elusive and abstract. Space, as you understand it, is a physical concept. It's where things exist, where matter interacts and where energy propagates. It's a stage where the grand play of existence unfolds. It's infinite, yet bounded, paradoxical, isn't it? Reality, on the other hand, is trickier to define. It's your perception of the world around you, shaped by your experiences, your culture, and your consciousness. It's both subjective and objective, a blend of the tangible and the intangible. It's the world as you know it, but it's also the world as it exists beyond your comprehension. The relationship between space and reality is a complex one. They're intertwined in a way that's challenging to unravel. They shape each other, define each other, and yet, they exist independently. Space is a part of your reality, but your reality isn't just space. It's a web of experiences, thoughts, and perceptions. Now, let's delve a little deeper. Let's explore the existence of higher dimensions, and how they could reshape your understanding of space and reality. Section 20. The existence of higher dimensions. In the vast realm of physics, there's a fascinating theory suggesting the existence of at least 10 dimensions, which could drastically alter your understanding of space and reality. Now, don't worry, this isn't as intimidating as it sounds. Imagine life as you know it, but with added layers of depth and complexity. You're already familiar with the 3 dimensions of space, length, width, and height. Add in time, and you've touched the 4th dimension. But what about the other 6? These aren't readily apparent to us, but they're not entirely out of reach. They're theorized to be compacted, or curled up, on a scale so tiny that it's beyond our human perception. String theory, a popular yet abstract concept in quantum physics, postulates these extra dimensions. It suggests that, at the most fundamental level, everything in the universe is made up of tiny strings vibrating in 10 dimensions. These vibrations, it's believed, give rise to the fundamental particles and forces of nature. But why does any of this matter? Well, if true, it could revolutionize our understanding of the universe. It could reconcile the apparent conflicts between quantum mechanics and general relativity, 2 pillars of modern physics. It might even pave the way for a unified theory of everything, a holy grail in theoretical physics. Discovering these higher dimensions is still a work in progress, and it's no easy task. But in the quest for truth, no stone should be left unturned. And who knows? You might be living in a 10-dimensional universe without even realizing it. Section 21. The relationship between reality and truth. While you're mulling over the possibility of a 10-dimensional universe, let's delve into the intriguing relationship between reality and truth. You see, reality represents the state of things as they actually exist, beyond interpretations or perceptions. On the other hand, truth embodies facts or beliefs that are accepted as correct or genuine. Here's the fascinating part: truth and reality often intersect but aren't always synonymous. For instance, it's true that you're reading this article right now, that's a fact. But your reality, your interpretation and perception of this article, might differ from others. Your reality is shaped by your unique experiences, knowledge, and perspective. Now, let's consider a scientific theory. It's presented as truth based on current evidence. However, as new evidence emerges, that truth might change. Yet, the reality is that the theory was deemed true at a certain point in time. So you might ask, what's more important, reality or truth? Well, there's no straightforward answer. It's because the importance of each depends on context. In a court of law, truth holds more weight. Yet, in a philosophical discussion about perception, reality might take precedence. Section 22. The quest for ultimate reality. On your journey to comprehend the ultimate reality, you'll find it's a quest that dives deep into the mysteries of existence and consciousness. This isn't a simple task. You're attempting to uncover truth beyond the surface-level perceptions of reality. You'll have to traverse the labyrinth of subjective experiences, objective facts, and the complex intertwining of both. You'll quickly realize that the quest for ultimate reality is an exploration into the abstract. It's a probing of the unseen, the unperceivable. It questions the nature of consciousness, the essence of existence, and the fundamental truths of our universe. It's a contemplation of what's real beyond our senses, our thoughts, our feelings. Reality, you'll discover, isn't just what you can touch, see, or hear, it's also what you can understand, infer, and perceive in your mind's eye. The quest takes you beyond the physical realm, into the metaphysical, into realms where empirical science might falter, but philosophical inquiry thrives. The journey is daunting, but it's also fascinating. There's a kind of intellectual liberation in this pursuit of ultimate reality. You're not bound by the constraints of physical laws or conventional thinking. Instead, you're free to explore, to question, to imagine. But remember, this pursuit doesn't promise definitive answers. It's an ongoing exploration, a perpetual quest. Ultimate reality may forever remain a mystery, but it's a mystery worth exploring. And in this exploration, you'll find a deeper understanding of existence, consciousness, and, indeed, yourself. So, you've journeyed through the labyrinth of reality, deciphered its complex nature, and found yourself questioning everything. You might argue, but reality is tangible, it's not an illusion. Yet, isn't it stunning to realize that our perception, culture, and even time itself, may distort this so-called tangible reality? The quest for ultimate reality is a pursuit of truth, an awakening to higher dimensions, and an exploration of the multiverse. It's profound, it's mystifying, and it's endlessly fascinating. Thanks for listening to or reading this from Audiobooks Office.